I watched a 7'5" dude get Rudy Gobert with a sham guard.
That was crazy.
Players decide when coaches are done. Once the players are done with you, you are done.
If you would have did that on the train in 2004, forget food. You a buffet.
Ain't get no whiff of the NBA.
The league is hard. Yo, welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-host.
That's right. It's your boy, the kid, Mero, the Human Direct Club. This is a Wave Sports and Entertainment original presented by Prospects, man. We back. We got a special guest in the building, man. One of the sharpest voices in sports. Host of The Right Time on Wave Sports and Entertainment. And gang, Bomani Jones in the building. My guy. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show.
Par on the left. Look, we got par on the left because I'm on par on the left.
Okay, at least you said
par on the left. You got par on the left. I ain't gonna disrespect you like that.
You know what's so funny about it? Me and my homeboy were talking about this. Everybody talks about left hand dap being disrespectful, but nobody has ever tried to disrespect you by giving you left hand dap. Like, that's nobody can point to a moment in their life where it's like, and then this motherfucker walked up on me with the left hand.
Fuck out of here.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna find the right person that I really don't fuck with.
Yeah.
And just be like, yo, what's going on, man? And just look him dead in the eye and see how long it takes before he recognizes.
But see,
this
that's why I said par on the left.
See, I didn't hear that first. I didn't hear it. I was just like, hey.
Respect. I probably did the same shit.
It's an immediate thing, too.
Listen,
it's just
man,
like,
nah, you on it. That means you on it.
Immediate, bro. And listen, man. Last week, we talked about the head nod.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's kind of similar to the part on the left. You know what I mean? It's a situation where you see a brother out in public.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Mikhail was saying it's in situations where it's not a lot of us.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Melo was saying like, man, I don't know you, Duke. Is the exact quote. That shit is hard. Put that on the shirt. I don't know you, Duke. We got to start bringing that back, yo. Word up. But how do you feel about that?
See, this is the thing, right? As I'm hearing that, I think Mikhail nailed on the part that's important, right? Because like, I grew up around white people. You ain't really grow up around white people, right? I know you did like your Oak Hill stint, but like you ain't really grow up around white people.
No, not at all.
When you don't grow up around white people and you have them circumstances where it's like, yo, it's another one. You gotta give the head nod because the person who doesn't give you the head nod, it's not even so much if you don't give it to me, but if I give it to you and you don't give it back, you are telling me you don't want to be part of this, right? Yeah. You were telling me that me and you are not in the same crew. And if me and you are not in the same crew, what that tells me about you, it's not good. It's not good. It's like that. You gotta do it, man.
Stand up for the anthem type of nigga.
Right. But people who grew up in places that's just like wall-to-wall black people, they don't have that same feeling. It's exactly right there. I don't know you.
I don't know you, motherfucker. What the fuck you looking at me for?
You don't want nobody to acknowledge you. Like,
but I'm from the South, man. We just nice to each other.
But it feels good, though. It feels good when you get the acknowledgement. Like, I got you. All right, cool. But I was saying, if they don't, cool.
Yeah, no, see, that's where it's not, right? Once I do it, you got to do it back.
But I'm not initiating that.
That's the thing.
I'm chilling there you just walk by, cool. It's nothing. Yeah. But if I'm chilling there, you acknowledge, I'm going to acknowledge back. Yeah. But I'm not going on my way to acknowledge.
But you've been famous since you was 15. Like, this might start a whole different conversation for you. I'm going to get the head nod. It's going to keep moving.
I got morals. You get what I'm as a man, I got morals. So it's certain things that it's like, all right, cool. Like, acknowledgement is respect. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you don't, then I don't know you, so I don't expect anything from you.
It ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing.
I judge. I have drawn lots of conclusions about who you are, where you come from, who you gonna vote for. All of that,
bro. Yeah. Like, yo, fam. And if you don't give me the head nod, and like, you could throw a little, you know what I mean, a little flavor on it, and be like, yo, all right, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But if you just walk straight, if it's a hallway, dog, you just come on. And we are like fucking Fordham University. You know what I mean?
That's a deeper question. That's a deeper question. That's a multi-layered question.
You know what I mean? Like,
you got to talk about where we are too, location, right? We're in a small,
work.
Right.
At work is the one that I know.
The big one. Again,
that's what I know.
Because if you're not on my team, you team HR.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro. I agree.
That's it.
That's the motherfucker he don't give you the head nod. He's the one that's going to be like, yo, he's smoking weed in his car on the lunch break.
Yeah,
to the boss.
I agree with that.
Plus, on top of that, I'm the talent. Like, if you don't say hello to me and I say hello to you, like, what do you think of me?
As a man, take the celebrity and the talent out of it. You just regular standing on the street.
As a regular person. But as the talent, I got a show in this motherfucker. You just gonna look right past me?
Right. No acknowledgement at all.
Like, what are you saying about me? I bet you would do that to Stephen A. Right? Like, and he might not holler at you.
Yo, Stephen A, that's the whole. Yo, he might do a segment about that shit.
You gonna walk right past me?
I was in hair and makeup, and they did not acknowledge my presence. What kind of shit is that? Like,
but Stephen A, on the other hand, he's the hardest working man I've ever seen. On the other hand, he hits you with, I don't really have time right now for these pleasantries.
For the pleasantries. I have to rate these Pokemon.
I appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
appreciate you. But Steve Harvey had that thing where they sent the email out about how nobody was allowed to come into his dressing room and all of this stuff. And it set the world on fire. But that world is so different. Because when I did a show, nobody was allowed to just walk up in my office.
Right.
And I'm me. Right? I can't imagine how many people try to come in to Steve Harvey, getting him to sign stuff or like, can you put this or whatever it is. It's just like, nah, y'all can't come in here.
My uncle's nephew's a Make-A-Wish kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro, you made that shit up.
Right. Especially if you don't know him.
You know what I mean?
You can't just walk up in the office.
Yeah, you got to slow walk it, baby. What up?
You got to, hey, can I? Ms. Anthony, can I come in and speak to you for a sec? You can't just bum rush the office.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
I was about to say, I was like, what is it? Have you ever taken it to like not a level like that, but it's like, you the guy, and it's like everybody wants like to holler at you. Yo, I got this business idea. I got this, I got that. How far do you take it? Do you take it to like, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro? Don't talk to me? Or is it Tracy? Is it Tracy the one that's like, yo?
That's just not my personality. Right. In all honesty, like, and we was talking about the, kind of the acknowledgement of somebody walking past you. Like, I come in the room, I speak to everybody. Like, I speak to everybody because I like to break the ice as soon as I walk in because I already have that stigma on me walking into a room that somebody already think he's all that. You already have that stigma walking into a room. Any room, though. It can be in the hood, it can be in the boardroom. That stigma is still there.
How long did it take you to figure that out, though?
I always had that. I always was that, like, respectful, person. Like, I'm going to speak. Like, I don't care. I'm going to speak even if you don't like it. Like, you may not like me. I don't know that. You probably just said some shit about me before you came in here.
That was she in here now.
Right, but so I'm going to speak, right? So that makes you feel uncomfortable. Like, damn, I really don't like this nigga. Why?
Why don't I like this?
Why? I think he just spoke to me, changed his whole life.
That's all it takes. All it takes is like, a basic hello.
I know that power that I have. So I walk in the room, I make sure I speak to every person in the room.
Facts.
Whoever it is. Because I know how uncomfortable it is. Somebody walking in the room, a celebrity walking in the room, and it's like, it's an awkward moment that you have, but you don't know that person. So you're not going to initiate it. The person not going to initiate it to the celebrity. So I can speak for I don't know, I can't speak for everybody else. Everybody don't do that. For me, I'll speak to everybody. I acknowledge everybody in the room.
All right. So, yo, listen, man, we this was like a couple episodes ago. We had, the new generation, bro. They on some shit. You know what I mean? Like, they on some shit out here. So, we had a young up-and-coming star who goes by the name of Kiyan Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Talking about his pops game.
Yeah.
Now he's over here talking about his pops fit. And he's rating your fit in real time. Talking about, the drip from the shoes to the pin to the everything, bro. Just giving you the 1 through 10 treatment.
I'm sick of him, dog. I'm sick of him.
Nah, it's like a 8 out of 10 fit. 8 out of 10 fit.
8 out of 10?
What is this? What material is this?
I'm sick of these fucking kids. I'm sick of them.
It's like an 8 out of 10 fit.
He said, what material
they
is this?
They have no respect. It goes back. It's no respect.
Yo, these kids speak their mind, bro.
You just got to support them. Just support them.
Yeah, that's it.
I've been having the same thought about respect. Y'all got, between the two of you, like 18 kids in Mero, 17 to 1, right? Like this is this is how it goes.
This is a football. He got the quarterback. I got the rest of the team.
Yeah, right. Like I don't have kids, right? I ain't never stuck with nothing as long as I've stuck with contraception. I'm a beast at that shit, right? Like it has not happened. It takes a conscious effort too. I'm 43 years old. I ain't even had a scare. You gotta work hard, man. You gotta put in grind for that, right? So I don't deal with my own kids, but I deal with other people's kids, and I noticed that they have a tendency to want to call me Unc, which they offer as a statement of affection and like a testament to being older. However, whatever happened to sir? I would like to be called sir every now and then. I feel like I have put in enough work on these streets and in this world. I feel like I've done it. Ain't nobody called me. I remember the last time somebody called me sir. And he don't remember it. It was a high school age John Wall because he called everybody sir. The boy was raised right? They ain't calling nobody sir no more. They feel they have the option of making evaluations on grown-ups that I just don't. How we take the power back?
So it starts from the street level of that, because now just from the street level, the youngins are taking the streets over. So older cats got to figure out, okay, do I get down or lay down? I ain't, my pride and ego ain't letting me lay. You know, you get what I'm saying? So some of it, and it hurts some of the older cats that's in the streets because they don't want to adapt, or not even adapt. They don't want to adapt, and they don't want to support the youngins. If the OGs supported the youngins, the streets would be a lot different than it is. But you know, it's a part of that where they gotta fucking listen too. They don't. These young motherfuckers don't listen.
I tell you right now.
So hold up, but to his point, it's like they taking over. So you like they calling the young boys OGs now. Like the guys that's younger than them, they calling. What's up, OG? Like the lingo is just backwards. It's twisted. You growing up from what you were saying, like you grew up in that environment where you had to, like you got disciplined for not saying yes, ma'am, yes, sir. So I understand your perspective, but my point is it comes from that street level and it grows. And now you Unc. Like we ain't, it's OG or Unc.
It's crazy because count your blessings. Count your blessings because you know what I mean. Of course, you know it ain't sir. Right. At least it's Unc. It ain't old head.
Yes.
Old head is tough.
Old head tough. I don't feel like we are at old head. Like
that's what I'm saying.
That's another. Like I would like to achieve that. Right.
Yes.
That's like the Black Thought line. Like grown ass man, I done paid my dues. Learn the rules, little homie. You could be one too. Like I feel like that is something to ascend to. You want to get there. The other part is we as a generation have worked harder to be cool as middle-aged people than any other generation, which then leads them to be the evaluators of whether or not we are cool, because young people are the ones who evaluate whether or not we cool. So like, if I do have kids, I'm gonna start dressing like a back in the day pops. I'm not gonna try to compete with them. They're gonna look at my clothes and they're gonna understand.
You're gonna set the tone.
That is set the tone. That man is not me. He is not my homeboy. I would never hang out with anybody that dressed like that, right?
We're taking a brief break from today's episode to let you know that Prize Picks got you covered when it comes to helping you make some bread.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? The big game is right around the corner. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to turn every game-changing moment into 100 times your money. You know what I mean? With as little as 4 correct picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000. Cam told me that. If Pat Mahomes throws more than 1 yard in the game, you win on Prize Picks.
Prize Picks also allows you to pick combo projections across football and basketball with specials. What? So you can support all your teams, all your teams, man.
Okay.
While still cashing in. So you get bread while supporting all your teams.
Oh, let's go. We lit. More or less, Ant Edwards, 30 points tonight on the road against the Bucks.
Ooh, on the road against the Bucks is tough. But if you that guy, you're going to get it. So I'm going with Ant 30.
30 plus. Ant, you better get 30 plus for my guy, you know what I'm saying? Because he's mixing it up with the specials. All right. More or less, Wemby, who in real life is 7'12" and did a shame god the other night, Wemby getting more than 2 blocks against the Orlando Magic.
I'm betting the house on that.
All day. I'm betting that he gets 2 blocks with his offhand.
2 blocks is... He gonna get 3 blocks tonight.
Easy work.
He gonna get 3 blocks.
He's gonna make it happen.
He gonna get 1 a quarter.
There you go. You see how easy that was? You know what I mean? Make sure you visit prizepicks.com/7pm and use promo code 7pm for a deposit match up to $100.
Now back to the show.
Speaking of, you know what I'm saying, transitioning, you know what I mean, from college life to whatever.
By the way, you done got good at this. Like, I've known you for a long time. I heard you tease that transition earlier, and I was like, my boy got good at this.
You gotta own the transition game.
Come on, that's it, baby. You know what I mean?
The outlet pass. Like you said it earlier. Like, look, man, I'm gonna get this ball out after we get out here.
Rebound.
Fine. All right, we go.
Rebound and push. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing, baby. You know what I mean? We got the 4 spots. I know Melo there, but I'm hit him with the wow. I know it. But it's, you know what I mean? I'm talking about looking over your shoulder too, man. Midway of the season, halfway through the season, we there, and some teams is there, some teams is not. Some guys is there, some guys is not. There's a lot of shit going on. Who do you got right now for, the awards?
Yeah.
Who do you got for, first of all, let's talk about MVP. Who do you got for MVP?
All right. It has gotten easier since Joel has gotten hurt.
Okay.
That was the complication.
Okay.
Right.
But now that he's gotten hurt, we can calm down, we can take a deep breath, and we can give the MVP to the dude that we should give the MVP to every year unless something crazy happens. And that's Jokic, man.
Man, listen. Bro, I'm keeping it buck. It's crazy because it's kind of like the Bron thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yo, you could have gave this man MVP 10 years in a row, bro.
Yes.
And had a way and had a leg to stand on.
But right now, it just doesn't make sense that he's better than everybody else.
Knicks cooked his ass, by the way, the other night.
They
You know what I'm saying?
did.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Just so you know.
They did.
Knicks should stand up.
Nah, they did.
But I was like looking up the numbers and stuff on the way over here because I was thinking about this, which way to go. And I was just like, to me, it's him and Shea, and I forget who I had as my third because there's so much going on in the league.
Yeah.
But like, those are the guys that are performing at like this top of the league. Like, yo, what's going on? Because to me, it's still Denver and everybody else. I don't need to go look at the standings. I don't need to watch so many of their games. Like once they finally get everything going, Michael Porter be out there playing with drop foot, right? Like it's amazing that he can show up and play basketball consistently. As long as he stays healthy, ain't nobody beating them, I don't think.
And that's the thing too. Like even if they don't stay healthy, unless it's like Jamal or Jokic that go down, they like you saying they like plug and play, bro. Like
They always plug and play.
yeah, like Bruce Brown left, they plugged my homie right in. Boot, he's still balling. Like so,
It's a system. It's a system.
It's system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plug and play in that system. If you're a certain player, you plug and play into that system. Because you ain't going there to do what Jokic's doing or what Murray doing. You ain't even going there to do what Michael Porter doing.
Mm-mm.
You going there to play a specific role, man.
And it's gonna humble you too. Like, look, man, if you
It's gonna
can't get
humble you.
buckets playing with Jokic, that's on you, man.
Don't
That's
even come
crazy.
in. Don't even come in. Like don't even come in. I like Jokic to get it. I just question the criteria. That's all I question.
Right.
Like Joel, yes, he should still get the shit. Like I don't. It's just
Yo,
he
honestly, bro,
he should still get the shit.
Yeah, nah.
But I know the politics that come with that.
Yeah.
It was is written is inked in.
Yeah, he
Right,
ain't playing
so-
enough. This,
right.
yeah, it's on paper.
So now we go to who's next. Shea, Jokic. What is the criteria? Should Jokic get it? Because yes, they are the best team. They are, you know what I mean? You got to go through them. You got to beat them to be donned that, crowned that, right? So if we going off of that, then Jokic should be MVP. But if we going off of the closing of the window of win percentage from year to year and like who's the most valuable player on the team? Who's most valuable to their team?
And it's a regular season
And
award.
it's hard because Jokic is very valuable to the Denver Nuggets. But what Shea is doing is special, right? It's nobody thought OKC would be in this position for at least for the next 5 years because what he does out there, he grooms you, he develops you, right? He developed guys. He didn't develop Shea, but he developed guys like Shea,
Right.
right? He gets you in the system and he develop you and he see where you at and we make that progression, right? Which is why OKC back in the day with KD and those guys, we're getting better and better and better every year because they develop at a high rate. Maybe the best in the NBA when it comes to that. So we come to criteria. I don't know what the criteria is. I would give it to Shea because of that what I said. Him bringing OKC back, putting them in, not even playoff, like people are talking about them in championship contender. They could win the West. So that right there is a lot of work that you have to do, put in and night out. We know Jokic is doing that.
Yeah.
But for somebody else to be showing that they doing it night in and night out and putting this team on their back,
right,
putting this city on his back, like OKC energy hasn't been like that in a long time.
right.
Like I thought they'd be top 4 in the West this year.
Right.
I did not think they would be legitimate contenders for the top of the West. Now, part of that is my brother and Skinny Chet showed up ready to ball,
My brother
right?
Skinny.
I sent Sam Presti a text once. I was like, man, you took Durant, you took Chet, you holding it down for us, baby. We need you.
Yo.
But he is a dog.
Yeah,
like
Sam.
it is refreshing when you see these young boys who really, really care a lot about beating people.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan does not enjoy winning things. Like if you sat Michael Jordan around playing against the computer in a video game, he doesn't enjoy, he likes beating people.
He like destroying you.
Yes, like he enjoys destroying people. Chet is that dude. Like the fact that Chet and Vic already don't really fuck with each other is the best thing to ever happen to the NBA.
I like it. I like
love
it.
it.
And we were talking about that.
But that's another
shit.
matchup that's like, I'm excited to see, right? Because they're very similar in the way of like growth and trajectory. Like, so you can see that happening over the next. You want to see that. You want to see Shea and Ant. You want to see
Love
that.
it.
We in
want to
chapter 1 of that shit right now.
Love it. Anthony Edwards is my favorite player on earth.
Oh my God,
Just
bro.
top to bottom.
Oh my God. I love him because he's him all day. In the post game, in the pre-game, in the interview, in the whatever, it's you game.
I love him because I'm not to cut you off, but I love him because he got a different mentality. Like he got I don't want to say old school mentality, but he got a kill to be killed.
We not
mentality.
friends, bro.
We not friends, and I think the way he grew up, right? And everybody grew up similar, you know what I mean, whatever. But the way he grew, I think it was older people around him who really like. We were talking about our uncles and older brothers and sitting us down and saying, yo, we gonna watch this game, right? That's how we learned the game. I think somebody did something similar with him and showed him like, look, these are the greats. Ant is like, he got a different mindset, bro. It's like he's a killer. Like, and he's a vocal killer.
Yep.
Like he's letting you know I want to kill you. You know, Shea is more of a silent killer. Like he is a silent assassin.
Wait, Shea is from Toronto. Anthony Edwards is from Oakland City in Atlanta.
We spoke about that.
It's different. Like when I remember when he got drafted, and I went to college in Atlanta. My parents lived there. Like I was born there. I didn't grow up there, but like I'm very Atlanta familiar. And I remember when I looked up at the draft, because that was the draft in everybody's house. And I looked in that house, I was like, oh, this looks very familiar. And then I looked up on the wiki. I was like, oh, he went to Thurl? Like this, he is not from like up the street from the Migos, Atlanta. This is not any kind of outskirts Atlanta. This is the Atlanta around the corner from where I went to college, where they told you not to go. Like when they told you not to go. And so John Kroenski at The Athletic wrote a real good story. We went down there and did that research. But he is from, to me at least, something very, very particular. And them Atlanta dudes, it don't really matter how hood they are. There's still a worldliness and like an understanding of how things go on. Because it's Atlanta. It's that kind of city.
Culturally.
And he's that guy.
You
right?
go to cities like that, man. Like I always say, like Atlanta, like New York, like Detroit, Baltimore. Like you get a certain type of individual from those cities. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And they carry themselves a certain way, no matter what. They could be the CEO of Disney or like a basketball player. The dude on the fries, they're gonna move the same way.
The mayor, the governor. You know
what I mean?
If you from those towns, you have that. You have that. That's that baseline to go off of.
But speaking of Ant and Shea and all those dudes, you know what I mean? Like rookie of the year. Who's like is there a clear cut, yo, this is the guy, he's got it? Or is it like more?
I watched a 7'5" dude get Rudy Gobert with a sham guard the other day, and I feel like that's the end of the discussion.
That's it. I feel that is
as good as Chet is, and I feel bad for Vic.
That was crazy.
Well, imagine if the motherfuckers were passing the ball.
Dog.
It's a team full of Ricky Davises down there.
But he also a rookie though.
But
he's also he gotta really like work his way. Like you got niggas on their team that's making niggas just sign for $400 million.
That's the one dude. The Vassal dude is the one that has got a But the rest of them, how dare you? Who are you to have the audacity to decide that we not gonna pass the ball
to the alien?
But that's how he popped though.
I do too.
I think that's Pop.
That's why, swing the ball.
Pop, like, yo, listen.
Pop is on some
We're not
PG
going to
shit.
play through you. Like, we're not going to play, you know what I'm saying? We're going to play around you because I know your skill set. I know you don't need the ball to be effective.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
So Pop put you in those positions.
Low key, it's good for him.
Today's game,
Yeah.
get out the way.
but this the
move.
problem. This the problem with y'all that's good at basketball. Me, if I got on the floor, there'd be no question as to why I was here.
So I agree with you. I'm not saying that I agree with what's happening.
Yeah, but
I
you
comprehend what's
but
happening.
you get it, yeah.
I want to see him go to work.
Yeah.
Go down there, get it. Wherever you want to go, here. I'm throwing it to you.
But I do feel bad for a lot of them dudes in the sense that, like, they've been sorry for a long time, right? And a great philosopher once said, and he was correct, San Antonio, it's just like Compton. You've been hanging out in San Antonio for 4 years. It's miserable. This ain't really no place you want to live. Y'all sorry. Pop out here hollering at y'all.
Yeah.
And now y'all finally get some shine and you telling me I'm supposed to give the ball to this dude from France? These
what
cats
I'm
is like,
saying.
no, it's my time.
Bro, he on a 10-day. I got to give him the ball.
And I just signed for 2-something. I just right. Like, come on. No, Wemby, you got to take your time. You got to work. No matter what. Like we all got to go through it in sports.
Oh, yeah.
As an athlete, you have, no matter how good you are.
Yeah. Is
you
that
have
changing?
to go through it.
I don't know who his agent is, but if it was Rich Paul, next year, that team would be clutched out.
That
so-
nigga would have a statue in front of the stadium right now.
So we, not to jump the gun,
There'd be San Antonio
we
away,
talk
fam.
about trades. We talking about,
Yeah.
right? So you talk about Dejounte Murray,
Yeah.
right? Who's heavy in the trade talks right now. Like, do he go back to San Antonio?
Ooh.
Because you got certain pieces in San Antonio. Think about it. You got Vassell, who's a good wing. He's a good 3-and-D guy, but he also can get to it. He can get a bucket, right? You got, what's the kid from Kentucky?
Kelton.
You got Kelton, right, who's coming into his own. Like, he's coming into his own, and he's a major piece into what San Antonio was trying to build, right? You got Zach Collins over there, who's he got a role over there, right? He play opposite of Wemby, and he, can do things out there.
And Pop do that. Like, yo, this is what you do next
so
to him.
does it make sense for DJ to go back to San Antonio? He's still young, right?
Yeah.
So he's still young, and they got a young group over there in San Antonio. That's one side of it. For me, it's like, I know what DJ is thinking, though. DJ want to be in a situation where he got a chance to compete.
And win.
You always reach that moment in your career where it's like, all right, fuck everything else. Like, it's time for me to figure out. I tried this Trae Young shit. I love Trae. We gonna do what we did what we did. Now I got to start thinking about what's next for me.
Right.
What winning really looks like.
So is it a two type of dudes kind of situation where it's just like, yo, I'm just looking for this bag, bro. Well, I'll go play.
You have that phase early.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Is it an age thing?
Yeah, it's an age thing. It's like you gotta go, it's levels, right? You gotta meet quotas almost in the sense.
Right.
You come in, you excited, you happy, you get your rookie contract. Most likely that team gonna sign your extension. So you know you're gonna be there for a certain amount of years. Right? Those are the fun years though. Your first year is cool, your second year you get better. Your third year, we should know what type of player you're gonna be for the rest of your career. Now you build off of that. After that, it's on you, right? So now that extension goes of the contract. Now it's time for you to be a free agent. Now it's thinking, you start looking at it different. Oh, are we in a situation to try to win? What's the plan? You asking these questions now.
Right.
What's our plan? Front office, talk to me. So as a guy like that, who, yes, he wanted out of San Antonio. He wanted to see what it was like to play with another star. And now it's like, oh, I got to figure out how to incorporate what I do into a whole nother, like a winning situation. And I think that's where he's at this moment.
He's at
and
the
that's
crossroad.
Right, so I'm not mad at him going back to San Antonio only because he's still young. right? He's still young. And he can still make an impact. And he can still be that guy, the man in San Antonio. Because Wemby did? Because I'm gonna tell you why. Wemby, he has that in him. Like I want to beat this, but he's also a certain type of player mentally, like his mentality. He comes from playing the right way. He comes from France where they play the right, run plays. That's why Pop put that play in order from 3-4 years ago, right? So if you get somebody like DJ who comes back to that and know that system already, and Wemby don't have to, he's not gonna be mad that the ball is in DJ hands.
Right. He's like, yo,
because he understands that. So I'm not mad at him going back to San Antonio, but I also know what he's thinking as far as it's time for me to make that decision. My next decision is going to be my best decision.
I'm going to tell you this, though. As I hear that, I done figured out how to get them dudes in San Antonio to pass the ball. Like, y'all don't want to be down here and pass the ball to Vic. That's one thing. You take your ass to Atlanta, and Trey ain't never going to look at you not one time except to see if you set the screen, see how much you like that shit.
Yo!
Oh, man, you want to play? I mean, I'm big on this, and it's not.
Nah, that's a fact.
Trey Young's a dude that, like, that year they rolled in the playoffs. You see why he's good to have because he ain't scared of the shot. And the playoffs come down to a lot of, do you really want to take this shot?
It's a bucket.
And he can go get it. And I don't know if that's a oop or a shot thing. Right. He's got that under control. All of that, cool. But you watch these dudes play with Trey Young, man. Don't nobody show up to work every day for that.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to do that, right? Yeah. Whether that be the coaches or all the other dudes. They not going to win nothing with him. It's not going to happen. So these cats that don't want to pass Vic the ball, all right, cool, you go to Atlanta, you're going to have the ball, but you're going to hate going to work.
you going to average 40?
Yeah, you're going to average 40 screens.
But Trey is, but to that, like Trey is, look, to me, is like Harden. Like when Harden said, I don't fit into a system. I am a system. I am the system. Right. Like Trey is the system. Like it's okay if I know my guy is the system, I'm not going to try to force squares into a circle. Like I'm just not going to do that. Yes, we had an opportunity to get DJ. DJ, look, we love you. It's no hard feelings. Like let's figure out a way where we can get you somewhere. Right. That's how you work with. That's how you really work with somebody. Let's figure out a way where we could get you to a place where you can be successful and we can get something out of it too. Let's work together. Right. So if that's because DJ wanted to see how it felt to play with another star, another superstar. Right. So now that you got that feeling and you realize, oh, I'm one of them too. Now that's why you start hearing the trade talks of, because it's whispers. Yo, my man ain't happy. My man ain't,
he's not
he loved Trey. It ain't nothing to do with Trey. It has nothing to do with Trey.
Right.
It's just, I know Trey is the white hat over here. You can't have two white hats.
That's it. He's the guy. That's
right.
It. But speaking of like, whisperings, there's been a lot of whisperings for a long ass time about DeMar. And like, yo, is he going to, he's leaving Chicago, apparently. Like, you know what I mean? That's like the overwhelming news. Like, it's not a done deal.
But they got nothing to play for now that Levine got hurt.
They like, you know how it is, like when the team is just like, yo, we got to get in picks, start rebuilding, get the OGs.
And they don't communicate that to you.
They don't communicate that shit to you at all. And you're like, yo, motherfucker, you got my face in the front of the arena?
I got you.
Now I'm on the Pelicans?
I know, I got you. I can relate.
That's crazy. So like,
it's so wild. That one dude, and it's happened at my old job too. Everybody else know what's going on, but you. Literally every person knows what's going on.
It's an open secret. Yeah.
That's the hard environment.
It's an open secret, but somehow they all keep it from you.
It's a hard environment to be in.
Oh, Chicago?
No, that type of environment.
Oh, yeah.
Where everybody knows shit and you walk around, you still cool. You're like,
hey, what's up, yo?
Our conversation ain't the same.
Like every time I come in the room, it's quiet.
You don't acknowledge me no more. You don't
give me talking. Oh shit! Yo.
You went from giving me the dap to the nod.
They go from the dap to just the dap to just the quick.
Nah.
And then it's just
there's the down nod. Then there's the up nod.
Yeah.
Like if I'm sitting down,
you don't want the down nod. You don't want the down nod. But DeMar, I think DeMar, man, he deserves. Like, he really deserves to be in a situation.
Does he fit in Philly? Because that's what they talk about. They talk about him possibly going to Philly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
honestly, yes. I'll tell you why. This is my opinion. When Jimmy went to Philly, they was missing that, right? They was missing that
wing that can
that can get to it, right? Jimmy was just too, like, the way he operates and things.
They call it mercurial.
He don't handle lack of effort well.
He can't stand it.
Right?
Man.
And that's just in the lightest terms of shit, but he don't fuck with it. Like, and it don't matter who you are. You can be the superstar, whoever, you don't coach, whatever, and he's gonna let you know that. So if you're not receptive to that, you're gonna take that a certain type of way. But no, he's bringing it every single night. So I say that about DeMar. They two different type of players, right? DeMar is not as defensive minded as Jimmy is. Because Jimmy grew up on playing defense. Like that's how he got his game. Tibbs ain't playing him unless you ain't going in there.
You're not playing defense. You're not
his first game was against me.
Right.
You ain't, we gonna give you a shot. Like, we gonna see what's going on against me. That's the Jimmy train that started with Tibbs. So with DeMar, he's bringing a different dimension to Philly. Right. You got everything over there in Philly already. DeMar, you ain't got to do shit.
Right.
If you don't want to defend, fuck it. We got defenders. Like, we got that. We just need you to come in, get to your spots, do what you do, and we're going to support that. I think that's the best fit for DeMar because I know DeMar, his mentality of what he wants to win.
It's Jimmy-esque.
He just couldn't do it in Toronto because of he kept running into
And Toronto kind of couldn't do it because of DeMar DeRozan.
But it goes hand in hand. So it's like it goes. So are you gonna like Toronto issue was, yes, did we put the right pieces around DeRozan? No, we put pieces around him, but did we orchestrate this to where he can really be successful, what he does, right?
And
so now he got to think about it, like,
and he hadn't stepped his game out that extra foot and a half.
It wasn't that time yet.
He needed to step back that foot and a half.
It wasn't that time yet for him to step it out yet.
Yeah,
right. So now you going through that process, and now you in the point where I'm in San Antonio. Whatever happens, I'm going to Chicago. Now I got fresh air now.
Right.
You in Chicago. You and Zach LaVine is supposed to be one of the most dynamic duos in the NBA. Like two of the best two guards, wings out there.
Yeah.
Now, and Lonzo. So Lonzo injury hindered that shit. Like that was a 1, 2, 3 that the NBA we wanted to see as a fan. Real hoopers wanted to see that. That don't work out. Now you're in a situation with DeMar. You got to make a decision. What's important to you? It ain't the money. Fuck, you gonna get it ain't the money. We ain't talking about money. We talking about what's important to you. How you want to finish this? Because this next move should put you in the horizon. Right? So what are you going to do? Where you want to go at? To me, it's Philly or New York.
And let me ask you this, because I think Philly needs him for as good as Tyrese Maxey is, still 6'2".
Yeah.
And I don't feel comfortable, unless we talk about Steph Curry. The guy I need to go get shots.
Yeah.
Like I know Becky Hammond said something similar about Jalen Brunson and people got all mad, but no, this is what it is. Like unless we talk about Allen Iverson, Isaiah Thomas,
you gotta
Steph
have
Curry.
bounce and skill. Like Jalen Brunson got skill out.
But those guys
was hybrids. Gets them a big wing, though.
Those was hybrids. So unless you are a hybrid, then Max, you have to, if we get a guy like DeMar, I need you to do what you do, but in this position, because we going through Joel first.
Right.
When half-court offense, you know where we going at. We going to DeMar and to get to his spots. He's the best to do it. In this game today, he's the best to do it.
He's so cold. Like he's one of the dudes that hoopers love so much.
He's very underrated.
Yeah, that hoopers love so much because of what he can do. And because of the 3-point thing, the nerd stuff didn't always check out, right? But you just look at it and you're just like, I can't imagine. If the 3-point line was 18 inches closer, man, I can't imagine he's trying to guard
He's a guy, if I was doing a camp about spots, I'm bringing him in to teach the camp.
Got you. Yeah.
Because he knows how he's mastered his spot. But by going through what he went through in Toronto and having to adjust his game in San Antonio to something, whatever that system was out there, now you get to Chicago where they open it up for you and we running the shit around you.
Bro. You get to your spot.
Right. So I really want to see him happy. Like, I want to see the nigga, like, at least go give your shot, yourself a chance.
And you know how much it had to hurt that they traded him
And they won.
And then they won.
And
Like,
then,
people don't
it's
think about
hard
that.
not to look at it like.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Might
But I
have been
mean,
you.
like, yo, they traded you for Kawhi, bro.
They
That
did.
motherfucker.
But it
that's a
doesn't matter.
basketball
It doesn't
cyborg.
matter. You know why? It doesn't matter because I built that.
Right.
I created that.
The whole time.
I put us in this position for Kawhi to want to say, I want to go to Toronto.
I was there thugging it out with y'all the whole
Like,
time.
I got booed up for
All
doing my
that,
same
you know?
shit.
I'm over here
But I
eating
kept
poutine.
running against that man.
That man, every year.
I kept running against that man. It has nothing to do with you. Like,
Yeah.
it was just you kept running against that man, and you at the time, you wasn't ready to play chess with that man.
Right.
You ain't know how to play chess with that
Yeah,
man.
this motherfucker was too advanced.
You couldn't figure that out. You couldn't
Yeah.
figure
He
it
was
out.
a video game boss for
Yeah.
8 years. Like, at least
Facts,
Jordan took
facts.
them breaks that, like,
Yeah.
you would, okay,
Yo,
give a little
yo.
sniff of one.
Yo,
All
Hakeem,
right,
go get
Shaq
you-
got a
go
little
get you
sniff. Everybody got... LeBron ran through the East, and every year, and it's not... And by the way, other than, like, Indiana, it wasn't like they was pushing it to 7.
Nah.
They was, like,
nah.
Toronto, they was just dogging them.
Yeah, bro. And that was that one year Roy Hibbert decided to be Shaq for like fucking 72 hours.
But you
That was
remember...
our year.
that's all the shit. Bro, that's
That
all.
was
Listen,
our
bro.
year.
I don't
This
got nothing
motherfucker
personal
turned
against Roy
into-
Hibbert.
Dude,
But dog, that was my birthday, fam. You understand me?
No, he turned into something different.
I'm drunk and smacked, and I got to see this. I was like, nah,
and you know
bro.
when Roy Hibbert did himself in? It was after game 6. He had a great game against Miami.
Yes, he
And
did.
then it was a press conference.
Yes, he
You
did.
remember what happened at that press
Yeah,
conference?
he did.
Stretch me
He
out,
went,
no
he went,
play.
he went Cameron
Yes, he did.
and hit him with a pause, and it turned into a thing.
Yep.
I was at that game. It was in Miami, and I talked to a reporter, and I was like, "So what do you think's going to happen tonight?" And he was like, "Oh, they got no chance." Really? He's like, "Roy's going to be useless," and he was useless. He was so in
You
his
saw
own
it
head.
though. You saw it though. You saw that.
So
Yeah,
it
you
was
saw
right
it.
there.
You
It all
saw it.
happened at that podium. It all happened at the
And I was
podium.
sitting there like, you motherfucker.
Yo.
Nigga, you just turned into Akeem, Pat, all in
Will
one and out
Pat.
series and fucking. Now you want to go tuck it. Get the
Now you
are
turn
shitting
into
me?
fucking now you turn into fucking Dookie Gobert over here for fucking the whole
you talking
series.
about pawn the left. Like, come
Crazy,
on.
bro. But speaking about motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Spots and always having his spot, dog. Yo, Doc Rivers has never taken an L in his life, I don't think, bro. My man, he'll take an L and it's a dub somehow,
He the
bro.
most- he learned from the best.
Yo,
Look, man.
he finessed his way into the Bucks organization.
Dog,
Like
that's still so funny to me.
That's crazy.
When they called Doc to be a consultant, I
Bro.
don't even think
Come
Doc
on.
did nothing dirty.
That's
Right?
like- that's like-
come on, man. It's
come
not like he
on.
was retired. Like if you call a retired coach to be a consultant, that's one thing. Doc just wasn't coaching.
Yeah.
He was not retired.
Right.
He was like, so what do you think we should do? Well, first of all, if I was
What
the
I would
coach,
do- I was coaching.
I'm not saying that I should be coaching, but if I was,
I mean, and when I tell you, when he on the phone with Adrian Griffin, he giving him bad advice,
Yeah.
and then coming back and being, look, I told him to do this, but he just want to do
he's
his own
just,
thing.
hey man,
He
he's
just
just,
wanna do his own
hey,
I don't.
I just think Doc must be good at talking to white people.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that as no sort of insult. We
It's your
all know
team.
that
It's
person
your
that's
team.
so good at talking to white people.
bro.
It's your team though.
fair.
You know, like, how does Isaiah keep winding up in all these places or whatever? Does he know how to talk to white people?
Also,
On TV?
it's also who's around you.
yeah,
Like it's the team,
your
that knows
yeah.
how to plug and play.
Yeah.
And okay, we know where you stand at. We know what we dealing with here. So we gonna put you. We strategic.
So listen,
So Doc, that's a tough one.
Doc is a tough one, but it's to quote Stephen A. It's egregious because the motherfucker's coaching he's coaching the All-Star team.
I know,
dog.
but that's like Ty Lue got to do at that time.
Yeah.
He was on
when they
TV
fired
last
Black.
week.
But that's not his fault. Though.
He was on TV
That's
last
not-
week.
that's-
Like,
that's-
it's a screen. He said the screen.
the strategy in it, like when you do the science behind it.
It's entertainment.
Nah, it's just deeper levels of what we actually discussing right here. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on, it's you know how it goes behind the scenes.
The second they asked him to be a
on.
consultant, he got on Zillow. Right?
Yo, listen.
This is done.
Yo, listen, he the hottest coach out there
Yo,
that's
but
not coaching.
so okay.
Hold on, he's the hottest coach that's not
That's
coaching.
right, because you need a coach right now.
You need a coach right now. So
Right.
you know what? We ain't gonna put you, Doc, away from the game. We ain't letting you go D'Antoni where you just gonna disappear.
Right.
No, we gonna keep you around the game. You know what? We gonna get you the ESPN deal, keep you, and now you gotta
In orbit.
right, but it's the level that they put you at ESPN. Like you are calling games as you are Hubie Brown. Like you up there now.
You're
right?
not on first take for 20 minutes.
So now as the league is looking for coaches and it's like, who are they going to go to? Right?
I just say Mark Jackson don't know what you're talking about right now.
I didn't know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mark Jackson like what you mean.
But Mark Jackson will agree with me, but he's gonna disagree with the fact that it happened.
Correct.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but he's gonna agree with the science behind it because that's the way that it should be.
Right.
Right. So Doc gets that. He stays in the atmosphere of NBA and stay at the top of the minds of the powers that be in the NBA. He's talking the game towards the GMs and an exec. So if I'm looking for a coach, he's calling the game. He knows it. Steve Kerr.
Yeah. So I feel like
Steve Kerr calling the games at the highest level.
Right.
Yo, it is so funny you mentioned that because I never thought Steve Kerr was good as a broadcaster, but I had never considered that I was not his audience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His audience was the dude that gave him a job.
So Doc is like, now you in the circle. So you just chilling. I'm gonna call these games, but I'm gonna call the games like I'm coaching though.
Right. So I
like
feel like
I'll
you just
be coaching this game.
Right. So if you watching,
right, you like, oh shit, he
knows what he's fucking
right
talking
because
about.
now you got time to. It ain't no pressure on you to fucking study a game and you got to scout 82 games and come up with 41 game plans. No,
you're ready for 2 a week.
You're ready for 2 a week. So you diving all the way in. So your verbiage is crazy. Right. Like your strategy, your X's and O's, the way you articulating that on the screen, people are looking like, oh shit, Doc. Now the only part that pisses me off is how it went down.
Right.
You don't do that.
That was like back channel shit.
I don't know if he did that. I'm saying organizations don't do that. We got to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
You don't make a move like that, right?
Right.
And bring in another black man. This is where I'm going at with it. You don't get rid of a black man to bring in another black man and have those two black men got to communicate with each other. No, you can't do that.
If I was Adrian Griffin, I would have never took not one of Doc's phone calls. Doc say he want to talk to you. Tell Doc I'm busy.
Yeah.
It's like
talk to my assistant.
We men now, and again, we men, but we black men, right? We got to really have a really serious conversation about you even looking at this job. Like, how they treat me. You know what we got to go through in this industry, right? Come on, Doc. Have this conversation with me as men, black men.
Yeah.
Where we sit down and be like, you know what, Doc? I know the business. I know, okay, cool. I don't like it. Cool. You coming in, you doing what you do. I'm going to support you, though. I'm going to support you, Doc. Fuck everything. Right. Now, if we had that conversation prior, this whole transition would be a lot smoother and easier. And now Doc don't got to backpedal and give up the all-star. Like, no, there's ways you do that. Doc, you take it and bring Adrian with you. If that's the case, bring Adrian. Let you the head coach of the All-Star game. Cool. Right. Let Adrian take the job. The NBA ain't gonna say no, bro.
Right. So
he deserve it.
As a player, as a journalist, why is it like, because you never see, like, for example, you've been doing this job over here at this other company for 15 years. You've had some success, but not like, yo, this dude is like breaking records, but you still get a shot and another 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 shot.
Oh, Doc like the rest of us is what you're saying.
You know
Doc like everybody else.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the only difference between Doc's job and everybody else's job is that Doc's job on TV. But that what you describe is, I used to be the the assistant vice president of finance over here. Now I'm the assistant vice president of finance over there. But a mere 2 years ago, I was working at this place. This is how it goes for everybody else.
In every industry.
Except this one is more cutthroat, right? The competition level is different. The thing I think Doc gets, and I'm curious your take on this, it's been a long time since he had a bad team. Like, your team is not going to be bad. His teams get into the place of not being good enough, not getting over the top. But part of why that winds up happening and why I'm surprised they brought him into this situation, them dudes get tired of him. Like in this new run of players doing podcasts, when Doc first got that job, it was funny to watch all these cats that are now in their early 40s and see their eyes roll, the ones who played for him and how they felt about the idea of him getting the job. And that's why it's so crazy to me that he keeps getting another one, because we both know this, man. Players decide when coaches are done. And I don't mean that from a coach killer standpoint. Yeah. Once the players are done with you, You are done. There's no turning this around. There's no bringing it back. Once the players have had enough, you're going to be out of there. And that's what seemed to happen to Griffin. The players, for whatever reason, did not believe. Because the NBA, that's a tough room, Jack.
Yeah.
Them boys have, you got to win them over.
People don't understand that. People don't understand that point.
I was about to say, dog.
Because y'all know basketball is simple enough to where it's not like football where some cat might be hitting you with some rocket science.
Right.
Basketball's not like that. These cats know the game. They know when you ain't got it.
It's hard, man. It's like Doc, like as a player, like you knew Doc was gonna be prepared for you.
Yeah.
But I've never heard, and me and Doc have a good relationship, but I've never heard anybody say anything good about Doc, a player.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But when you think about it, let's go back. Doc been coaching for 20-something years. Like, look at all his players. Now, I'm not saying that nobody, but I'm just saying
the majority.
The narrative coming out of those experiences with Doc, nobody has nothing to say good about it. Right? Because I don't know what the issue is. So I'm not in those locker rooms, but I just know the narrative around that is no one has anything good to say about Doc. And to his point, for years, even when Doc was leaving and teams, he's going to team, no players was like supporting Doc.
Right. So when
we
they
look
say
at
like
players like, oh shit, like why he going on Doc like that? Like that, he going in on Doc. Like
it must be something.
But no, nobody's said that yet. It was just like, oh shit, he bugging, oh he crazy, oh Doc must be yelled at. It was like that. But nobody now on 1, turn to 3, turn to, you know what I mean? You done coach Hall of Famers, Doc. Like you 9, 10, 11, 12 Hall of Famers or something. You know what I mean? Like
that Chris Paul thing ended with the Clippers because Chris Paul did that Lob City era because Chris Paul didn't want it no more.
Right.
Paul, but what's wild, Chris Paul didn't want it no more, and then they overachieve like nobody's business the next year. Like that next year is why he will raise the floor of your team.
Yes.
Right.
And then if y'all get up 3-1, man, y'all better.
That's a fact. He's definitely going to raise the floor, and he's always had somebody at the helm of the offense.
Right.
A guard. Rondo, CP.
Right.
Dame Lillard.
Yep.
James Harden. He always had that lead guard who can orchestrate shit on the court for him.
So why the fuck
which is why
win in the playoffs?
Which is why him and Rondo used to, because Rondo was a smart motherfucker.
His smart was all good. He had to age
Yeah.
into his place in the NBA.
He didn't know
old
how
enough
to
be like
navigate that with Doc. All he knew is I gotta manage KG, Ray, and Paul.
Right.
Like
And-
with other shit. Like
No, of course. And to your point, that's when he won. And we talked about this too, like Rondo being one of the most cerebral, knowing the game, challenging the coach, like real point guard, you know what I mean? Is it Doc's style of coaching that doesn't get him deep in the playoffs? Is it the personnel?
Know. I don't know anything about Doc coaching other than me playing against him as a coach and me trying to defeat him as a coach.
So it's the coaches that you've had in the past, right? Like if it's a situation where it's like, you're the guy on the team, right? And the coach, it's like, all right, bro. You know what I mean? Like when the white hat is checked out,
everybody's checked out.
Everybody's checked out.
Yes.
So then it's like there's no way you got
it's checked out. When the white hat is checked out, the white hat is going to gravitate towards what he done been through the trenches with, which is what? His teammates.
Right.
So you hear a lot of times of, he has an he has an impact on his teammates, or we got to get him out of here because he's too influential to, right? And then that's the narrative, he's a bad locker room guy.
He's a cancer in the locker room.
Because you took that stance. Like, I'm not fucking with y'all no more. I'm just here to practice and fuck with my guys and try to figure out how we gonna win. And get my guys to understand, all right, it's about basketball. Fuck it. We gonna do what we do, let them do what they do, and we gonna go out there and try to win. So that's that line right there with Doc. I always just see it as always great. And then it's like, shit, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
With Doc.
See, that sound to me, and you hear whispers about this, I can't say it concretely, but that sounds to me like you start losing people like that when they feel like you told them one thing, but it was another thing.
Yes, because that's transparency.
That's when you lose. That's when you lose.
Listen, in the NBA, I can only speak for the NBA. in these locker, we're a fraternity, right? If you say something and don't stand on it, you're done. You're completely, like you're done. We don't talk to you no more. Like you're like a sore thumb in the locker room, on the bus, on the plane, in practice. You're a sore thumb.
Yeah.
To the point where like somebody got to come in and be like, all right, like what's the fucking problem type of shit. But you already done shot yourself in the foot. You don't have to do all that extra shit. Like you don't have to oversell yourself or oversell the situation. Just tell me what I need to do, right? Communicate with me and be transparent with me.
As a coach.
As a coach.
The coach comes up to you like, yo, Melo, listen.
Because assistant coaches are supposed to tell you, yo, keep the communication going with you. Yo, Mero, yo, man, you gotta, yo, this is your role. This is the head coach ain't gonna tell you that. The assistant's gonna pull you up and, yo, sit you down and watch film. Yo, this is what we need you to do. This is your role. You take care of this. You the wing, you the guard, you the center. And then the coach just figure out how to mix and match that shit.
So is it like football in a sense where it's like the head coach?
Nah, hell no.
Is like the head coach and then it's like the assistant coaches.
Because it's different. Some head coaches control everything top down. No coaches talk in practice. Nobody else have a voice in practice.
The assistant coaches get rebounds and throw it back to you?
They be wanting to say something like, you know what I mean? It's like they can't, you know, they have side conversations, whispers. But on the other side of that, you have coaches that empowers their other guys, their coaches. Like they want you to speak. They want you to talk. They want you to build that relationship with the players. So it's two different style of coaches.
Obviously, like you do this, you know what I'm saying? Like you study this. Why is it, first of all, why doesn't Doc have more player success? And second of all, is Doc a Hall of Fame coach? You know what I mean? Like overall.
So the why is the trickiest question because I feel like with those 3 1s, I can give you a reasonable explanation for all of them except for the bubble one when they blew that 3-1 at the Nuggets. Mm-hmm. That one I couldn't defend. Even the one against the Rockets, that team, their starting lineup was the best starting lineup in the NBA, but they only had like 6 dudes, right? You can win in college like that. You can't get through the NBA. But I can't defend letting Josh Smith walk you down in game 6 at your own house with James Harden on the bench, right? Mm. You get the 3-1 lead when you're in Orlando playing against the Pistons. Come on, you had Tracy McGrady and like Goofy Pluto and whoever else you could round up around Orlando to come play on your team. I can see why you lose all that, but at some point, you know, you meet people like, why you got bad luck, right?
That zone fucked them up.
Yeah. But it's always something happening to you. Yes. And I don't have the explanation for why it is. At some point, you got to start looking at what the common denominator is on that. Like with Philly, to me, the question is all about Joel. It's not about anybody else. Because the thing about Joel to me in the playoffs is he gets so many fewer shots. He puts all those shots up in the regular season, and then the playoffs come, and to me, he doesn't move quick enough when he gets the ball in the post. And so now these dudes can come and swarm on him, or you get somebody for whatever reason who's strong enough to stand there. Now he's dribbling 3-4 times, and everything slows down. That's not Doc Rivers' fault. Dealing with James Harden doing a James Harden thing at the end of this, it's not Doc Rivers' fault. But it always seemed to happen to you, don't it? Right?
You always want to throw on the bench.
Right. At some point, I'm not just going to keep thinking I'm going to be the one to make you right. You know what I'm saying? It'll always be something with you, huh?
Is Doc Rivers a Hall of Fame coach?
For me, personally, I think the standard, if you go look at who the coaches are in the Hall of Fame, that standard is so high that we throw that phrase around so much that it kind of loses something, right? If you want to tell me now after Spo got the Heat to the finals twice without LeBron, he's a Hall of Fame coach, maybe. People were saying that to me when he hadn't won 50 games without LeBron James.
No, that's right.
You know, just because you won 2 championships, that doesn't necessarily, like Rudy T just got in. His 2 championships didn't matter as to what it is. So to me, is Doc a Hall of Fame coach? No. But that's not because I don't think he's a good coach. I just got that line up there so high.
Yo, Melo, man, we've been very fortunate in our careers, you know what I mean? We've been able to travel, you know what I mean? Explore the world, you know what I mean? From East Tremont to B-More, you know what I mean? Everywhere in between. Nothing's better than seeing new places. You know what I'm saying? That's why Viator has been essential in making that easier than ever, B.
Viator is a website and app where you can book travel experiences like Brooklyn to B-More or wherever you call home. Brooklyn to B-More is crazy.
That's a one. That's right, because they got over 300,000 bookable experiences in 190 countries. So there's no way you're not going to find where you want to go. You know what I mean? There's something for everybody. Plus Viator's travel experiences have millions of real traveler reviews. They're real, you know what I mean? They're not the Fugazi joints in all caps. So you got information you need to book the best activities for your trip.
Download the Viator app, not now, but right now, and use code Viator10 for 10% off your first booking in the app. One app, over 300,000 travel experiences you'll remember. Do more with Viator.
Yo, Melo, 2024 is already moving around kind of fast, you know what I mean? And before you know it, summer's here. With the summer months comes concerts, you know what I mean? A lot of activities, things going on. There's no better way to get prepared and get your tickets secured than by getting locked in with SeatGeek.
That's right. You already know what time it is because SeatGeek is the number one rated ticketing app with more than 70,000 events every day, from sports to concerts and much more.
Because, whatever you want to see. NBA games, they got you. You know what I mean? A little hockey, they got you. You want to watch some March Madness Cinderella stories, they got you. SeatGeek got you covered no matter what when it comes to finding options for you.
SeatGeek puts all the tickets across the web in one place, so you know you get the best deal. Then they rate the tickets on a scale from 1 to 10.
Also, every ticket is backed by their buy guarantee. You know what I mean? So you know you're not getting finessed. SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of time with swaps.
Use our code. Our code. We don't give you the code. 7 p.m. for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code 7 p.m. Make sure you and all your people click the link in the description to download the app.
This goes back like a couple of episodes where we were talking about you winning the Natty and then going straight to the league, and that kind of like ushered in the whole like one and done situation. Like, the landscape of collegiate basketball changed a lot since then. You know what I'm saying? Like the way the game is played. Like you got Calipari bringing guys in. He's like, yo, I know you're going into the NBA in 6 months, dog. Win me a chip and then go. You know what I mean? So, like, did that help the game or hurt the game, in your opinion?
I think for one, it hurt the game in a sense, right? When I came out, I never wanted to leave. I want to go back. People was looking at me, man, you better get the fuck out of it. Like, I didn't understand it. I knew I was good, but I didn't understand what's next. I always looked at the NBA being the hardest industry that you can get into.
Right.
So I never looked at making this shit. So now I get to college, I'm still just like regular, we wasn't shit. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody looked at us like winning nothing. Like 4 freshmen, like it was just like you guys, maybe Syracuse, like it was all of those asterisks and question marks by it. So now the one and done, I leave after that. Prior to that, it was maybe a couple people who was maybe one and done. What's name had in Kansas did it back in the day, and then you had Magic. I think Magic did one year. Like it was only a couple. It was a handful of what I'm saying.
It wasn't like
Danny
regular.
Manning. Danny Manning's the name I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Oh no, he did the full 4.
Yeah, but it was like he was like, oh shit. Like when he came in as a freshman, it was like, who the fuck is this guy? He could have left after his freshman year. Right. So I was looking at those guys and Felipe Lopez, who should have left after they first, I had all of those stories as a student of the game. So now I know like this is a special moment of me leaving one and done. I'm not thinking that this shit would be open the doors to something, because the next year is when that was the last year coming out of high school, right? With Dwight and all that class. So I'm like, okay, everybody's not thinking one and done. Everybody want to leave high school. Where is this one and done shit going? So guys like Calipari had to adapt when he was in Memphis and all of that, and he changed the game. But Cal always been quick triggered like that. Like since he was at UMass, he's been quick triggered in Boston, like all the Jersey, all that shit. He's been quick triggered and like, what's next? Like we gotta keep this shit going. He's a high motor fucking guy.
Yeah.
So now you get to Kentucky. Oh, I gotta fuck the game up. You know what? I'm just going to go after the best players, the top guys, bring them in. You got 6 months. I'm going to put everything around you. We're going to have pro days. We're going to make sure, hey, you get the right shit. And we're going to start this trend of getting you the fuck out of here. Because you know why? I got the next motherfucker coming in next year. So if you don't do what you do this year, you get left behind. So he put the onus on the actual player. That's the shit I don't like. Because what if you need that development? Not everybody's going to college and doing 1 year and ready to go to the NBA.
Right.
Majority of guys that's going today are not ready to leave after 1 year. So now Cal putting that pressure on you of like, yo, you got to get out of here. I got the next number one guard, top guard coming in here next year. You recruiting 4 or 5 McDonald's, top 5 guys that come in. That's a plan. I'm not mad at the strategy if that's what you stand on it.
Right.
And he stands on it. So that's why I'm not mad at it. But you fucked the game up and you made everybody else adapt to what you was doing, right? Which opened the floodgates. Because now you doing it, now Coach K got to compete against that. How do I defeat that?
Right.
I got to start doing the same shit. And Coach K hated that shit. He would never, ever allow a one and done. So you start seeing schools like Duke, them Kansas is, like the big power schools start doing one and done. Now you know the game is fucked up.
Right.
Right. So to me, it helped it because it gave guys an opportunity to get there earlier. But you're not developed enough to be ready to go to one and done. You could look at a college game and be like, he's ready. You can look at a high school game right now at the highest level and be like, oh, he's ready. Or he's not ready. He needs 4 years. I see him in the NBA in 3-4 years.
Right.
But guys, it's the people that's around them that's like, yo, man, we going here for 1 year. And then we get
Bentley, nigga.
And NIL is crazy today, right? Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to school. Before I go to school, I'm making $500,000, $600,000 before I even step on campus. I'm coming through campus with Ferraris and whatever, minks, chains, like all type of shit.
Niggas buying everything but
so like, what's important to you, right? Now is winning important, or is it this is just the pathway to get to? This is just a step to get to.
Yo, and see, that's the part that gets me, because what I feel like, and I'm curious your thoughts on this. I was in school, but I was kind of early in the game when North Carolina won that championship in 2005. Yeah. Marvin Williams was on that team. We knew the whole year that was a top 5 pick. Mm-hmm. This dude would probably go number 1 or number 2. He was came off the bench that entire season. And if you go back and look at that year, if you watch the Carolina Duke game at Chapel Hill that year, where Sean May went for like 26 and 24, there's a play where Marvin Williams went out there against Sheldon Williams. And, in college, we thought of him a little differently. He seemed to be a fairly imposing figure. Mm-hmm. But he sent that dude's shot back like 3 times. And you just saw how shook Marvin was. He wound up hitting like the biggest shot in the game at the end. And he almost broke down crying. Yeah. But that dude never learned how to be a star player at the high level. So now you're the number 2 pick in the draft, and he was never going to be able to do number 2 pick things because he had not been at a high level. He had not learned how to be that dude. Yes. Like, I think what's interesting about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander getting traded to Oklahoma City when he did, since they wasn't good, he got to learn how to be a star player. So just because you can play in the NBA doesn't mean you should play in the NBA, right? And that's why I wonder, we're not seeing the United States produce star players on the levels of Giannis.
Oh, yeah.
Luka, Embiid. It's not happening. And I don't think those dudes are learning how to be stars because they hopscotching so fast to go from spot to spot, right?
So here's the question. So is it, has the one and done thing scared away like those legendary player development guys, like the John Thompsons, those guys?
No, because you got to adapt to that. All the coaches is adapting to
but they all quitting.
They all quitting too. Because it's like you have some that they all had to adapt, and then they realized this ain't the shit I want to do. Because think about college. You go to college, you're supposed to stay there for 4 years. You're supposed to, like, the tradition of college and being in it and building
4 years senior
and fans and students, they get a chance to build with you, and your senior night is supposed to be the It's like we went through this shit together. Now, there's no more senior nights. There's no more, like, the passion that fans have today for college sports. It's still there, but it's not, because it's very hard to root for a guy who's going to be there for 6 months. Yeah. And I know I might sound crazy about talking about it, but I didn't think I was going to be there for 6 months. Right. I was there going for...
Well, and you had a hell of 6 months. Like, it's not like everybody else's 6 months ain't going to be the same as your 6 months.
Then you also had Coach Boeheim being like, yo, my man, I appreciate you.
Yes, but that's the transparency.
Right.
So if you're going to do that, that's cool. Mero, get the fuck off my campus. You gave me what I wanted. We accomplished what a lot of people, thousands of student athletes can't accomplish. We got that. You go, get the fuck off my campus. You always come back to get your shit, right? Yeah. That was real conversations. You ain't having those conversations with these kids today. These kids already coming in telling you, I'm only here for 6 months. That's the difference. I didn't say I was going to be. They coming in with, yo, I'm here for 6 months, and the people that surround them, that's supporting them, is letting everybody know we're here for 6 or 7 months.
And they the ones I feel like playing the game so bad because I feel like as an adult, you would understand, hey, man, that being grown shit's a little overrated.
Yeah, man.
You ain't got to be in such a hurry to go do this. And where it's hurting college basketball is there's just no familiarity.
No.
Right? Like you don't know. And I spent 10 years living in North Carolina, right? So it was interesting being in a place where college ball is the thing and it goes.
Yes.
And the relationships you have are with these dudes who stick around. It's not always the best players, right?
Yeah.
It's like watching an 18-year-old grow into a 22-year-old and everything else. Like these are the things that are charming. Like women's ball is on fire right now with college. Whew. And it's not with men's. And the reason is women's ball has coaches you recognize, names you recognize, teams, basically franchises that you're familiar with. I don't really know what's going on with men's college basketball anymore. I don't know who these dudes are when they on the teams.
Yeah.
A one and done dude used to be like you read about them in a magazine. Like I joke about Ricky Davis and LeBron, but I remember when Ricky was in high school, my brother saw him dunk on somebody at a summer league game in Iowa. And then when he got there, it'd be like, oh, watch out for this Ricky Davis. It was like 5 or 6 guys like that though.
Absolutely.
That you heard about. Now, every single one of them supposedly is that dude. And so you don't know who to pay attention to. Right. You don't know who to watch. You don't know what any of this is. Then you turn on the Final Four, and no disrespect, man, but it's Florida Atlantic out there.
Right.
I still don't know who play for them. I don't know who their coach is. I don't know who any of these things are.
Right.
And so once it stopped being steady and you stop like having, like Syracuse is interesting. Derek Coleman, who might have been better as a freshman than even you were when he got in there. Derek Coleman stayed for 4 years. Derek Coleman will never be a draft bust in my mind because Derek Coleman is the dude from Syracuse forever in my mind.
Yeah.
Guys who used to play, like, what's the big boy at Purdue now? Zach, was it Eddie whatever his name is. Back in the day, it wouldn't matter what kind of pro he was. We would know him forever for being that big dude at Purdue. Absolutely. Eric Montross just passed away. Rest in peace. We don't know Eric Montross from the NBA. We know Eric Montross from what he was as a college basketball player. There's nobody that fits that description anymore. Because like you said, college is no longer a destination.
No, it's no more.
For guys to go to.
There's no more.
Right.
These guys, they don't even want to go to college.
Right. Which is so wild because college is great.
Right, which is sparking, which sparks all these other startups, right? It's like you got the OTEs and you got the G League Ignites, you got the NBL in Australia, you got the shit in Serbia. Like you have these academies which is forcing the sport to change from a business model.
So what's the solution for the NCAA? B? How do they fix
NCAA
this
is
shit?
in trouble.
Oh, no.
NCAA is in trouble.
Here's where the NCAA is at. When COVID hit, good friend of mine, one of the smartest people I know, he made a good point. He's like, everything you watch happening during COVID, he was like, all those things were already going to happen. It's just being accelerated.
Absolutely.
And what that also helped accelerate with the NCAA was its demise. Like it took us farther and farther down, more up to that line. And now slowly it's going to go down. To me, I would take a whole different approach because we did something on Game Theory, the show I did on HBO about Overtime Elite. And we focused on like the education parts of it in this. But this is the part that got me about Overtime Elite. I'm looking at it and I'm like, all right, so where the girls at, man? Like if you into girls, where the girls at? I done seen what it's like to be a college student. I done seen what it's like to be a college basketball player. Why in the world would I want to go play at a studio? Right?
Listen,
this is life.
So my rebuttal to that would be, if Overtime Elite was in any other city, I would agree with you.
No, but okay.
They are in Atlanta.
Number one,
that's
hazardous though.
It's hazardous, but you ask a very specific question.
You're right.
They are in the middle of Atlanta, right? Making hundreds of thousands of dollars in Atlanta.
But what's my avenue for like a normal social experience? I guess I get what you're talking about.
You do it on your own.
I get you and you get me, right? But it's just, but that's my whole thing when I look at all these alternatives, and I guess my parents are college professors. I always knew college was going to be great, right? I look at these dudes and I'm like, the other part too, the transfer is actually, I think, the bigger problem. It's a bigger problem than one and done's, and the transfer kids are doing it wrong because I know you got guys on your team. You could pull a name out here. Some dude that's the mayor in Syracuse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't nobody care what he is, but as soon as he got done, he could have got a job at the car dealership. He could have gone anywhere. You can't get that going from school to school every year. Nobody cares about you. Nobody knows you.
And there's no more like
Mr.
there's no more school. There's no more university pride. No more. Like with the athlete, and that's the part that I don't like. Like watching it and seeing it. Like there's no more like Syracuse pride as an athlete. There's no more like maybe Carolina because they still got guys that's there 7 years and shit over there. So, but you know, there's no more like school like athlete pride, player pride because I'm only there. You don't get that pride, that feeling until the next year when you in college because the first year you just going through you happy to be a freshman in college.
Right.
You still don't got your classes right. You still trying to get your feet wet. You don't know the parties yet. You don't know who's who on campus. You may see somebody in October that you don't see again to May.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't know how to acknowledge that. That next year is when you like, I got one under my belt. I've been here. I got a little bit of familiarity. I know how to move now. Now I'm going to start getting that love. That's when you get the love. The first year, you don't get the love.
And they're not going, I feel like, God, I feel so old saying all of these things. But it's like, are you going to be part of something, right? Like I was talking to Harrison Barnes once, and for people who don't remember, Harrison Barnes did the decision before LeBron did the decision.
Yeah.
He sat up at that table and said, the winner is, where I go is going to be the dude on Skype.
That's a fact.
It was the decision,
That's
right?
a fact.
He told me that he went to Carolina. He said, look, man, because it was coming down there in Duke. And everybody thought he was going to go to Duke. He's like, look, I went to Carolina, man. They took me to dinner with Dean Smith and Michael Jordan. I went to Duke. They took me to a movie or something like that. He wanted to be part of that there.
Absolutely.
Like, I remember he was there for like the Centennial alumni game that year. It was the year after they won the championship. And like Jordan's Ferrari is parked in the tunnel and Sheed's walking around and stacking. Everybody else is just there. And I remember I sat there and I watched him, Barnes, the whole time. And I was like, oh yeah, he coming here because he want to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's greatness.
Yeah, right. It's just, this is something you want. You know, when you see something, you're like, yo, I want to be a part of that.
Right.
And I don't think most of these players look at any of these schools as like, I want to be a part of that.
They looking at who's giving the bag. How much you got?
Facts.
How much you got? You got, okay, cool.
All right, bet. I'm fucking with you.
I'm fucking with you.
So,
and if that bag run out, I'm going to
the transfer portal.
And that's the transfer portal. That's what's fucking the game up.
Right. So like for you, for example, you've been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? White hat at Syracuse. Now Kai's on the come up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Knowing what you know now and the business of the game has changed and all that. Like, what kind of game are you giving him? Are you like of the mind of like, because my wife, bro, she's like, y'all are all going to college. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care if you drop a platinum album and you become a bazillionaire, you're going to college. So is it like the same type of energy or is it like more?
My son is going to college. Like, it ain't no, like, I don't even preach one and done to him.
Right.
Like, we not even playing that game because I don't even want you to start thinking that right now.
Right.
Right?
Like, I'm ready now.
But you start shortcutting shit. And you start rushing shit. We ain't rushing nothing. Nigga, you going to college. If you had to stay for 2, you had to stay for 3, we going to college. We'll figure it out. We adapt as we go. If you ready to go after your first year, then we'll look at it.
Right.
But that's not a priority to us. Right? I also teach him the business of the game. Motherfucker. You ain't got to go get the 200, 300, right? Like, you understand? Like, because I know what you really want. Right. Like, let's be frank. Like, the money is there. Like, these kids want money. We all want money.
Yeah.
You want to hoop, but you want money too.
Yo, because
you want to get there, right? So the way you get there is by being patient, taking your time.
Right.
That's why in the NBA, you start seeing guys who come out one and done, or they go into Ignite and then they come to the league. They start falling off. Because they don't have a role. They don't have a place on that team. Now when you coming out and you taking your time and guys really get to see you develop, okay, from 16 to 19, like, I can't judge you I can't rate you as a pro right now at 16, 17 years old. You still haven't physically developed yet. You still haven't thought the game yet. You don't even know how to move on the court. I want you, I see the potential, but just know there's a large chance that you're going to come here and you're not going to play.
Right. Because
you're just not prepared to be a pro yet.
Yeah.
You hit the big if that was so important. You're like, if you ready to go. It's like we talk about the guys coming in and be like, yo, we only gonna be here for 1 year. How do you know that?
That's the people around them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at them like, how in the world, like, do you understand? I went through once and I sorted like all the draft classes by win shares just to give me a handle on like how many players in a given class were doing something. So this is like a whole draft class with the international players and everybody else. Or I may have done it for recruiting classes. But really, it's the recruiting classes. This country produces about 10 or 12 NBA players per year. I don't mean dudes who play in the NBA.
No, that's sustained. That's sustained.
NBA players.
Sustainable.
The
Right.
ones.
Where you're like, I know who that is.
Yes.
Like you just start going down and you get to number 11 and you're like, ugh, do I think this guy was an NBA player? It's so hard to get to the NBA.
It's hard, bro.
I don't know why people have forgotten this. As more and more kids play and more play at high level, you know what hasn't changed? The number of teams in the NBA.
Yep.
Not at nearly the same proportion as all that stuff down.
Yes.
So it's more people fighting to get in, and there just ain't spots.
Yes.
They're not there. Like it plays itself out with women's ball, where the WNBA first round picks can't make teams because they don't pay nobody. So the older players don't have to leave,
Yes.
and the younger ones can't get in.
Yep.
But it's still the same issue. It's really hard to make it to the league.
Absolutely.
And I can't
Also-
imagine how heartbreaking it would be if I thought my whole way, well, I'm a top 20 player in my class.
You thought.
I'm going to go to the NBA. Dude, top 20 is not
this
promising
happens-
you anything.
But this happens constantly. This is happening right now while we're speaking about this.
Yeah.
This happens, this is on the clock, where guys just believe, and they believe so much at where they at that moment in time that can't see the development to where I want to get to.
Yep.
I keep trying to tell people, man, it's hard as shit to get in this NBA. It's just the guys that you guys like and look up to and see. We make it look easy. This shit is hard. It's fucking difficult. I want to be honest. Like, this shit is hard to make the NBA.
Yeah.
Stop acting like this shit is the NBA is just this league. Like, this is the league.
Yeah. And bro,
Everybody don't make it. You got
Yeah.
450 guys in the NBA, man.
that's a fact.
And you got 60 every year that's coming in and out. Out of those 60, maybe 8 will play in the NBA. Maybe.
And make noise.
Not
Yeah.
even make noise. Will
Just-
be in a rotation. If 8, maybe 6 will be in a rotation.
No, I think about the first NBA player I ever saw with my own eyes where we were like, oh, that guy's going to the NBA. 1994, and it was Steven Jackson. He was a sophomore in high school,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
That's
bro.
my guy. Oak Hill, baby.
Stack, man. Yeah,
Do you
that nigga's
realize
different,
all the things that Steven Jackson had to do to make it to the NBA?
Yeah,
and all,
man.
by the way, including going to Oak Hill,
And
right?
he wasn't even a star.
Yeah,
He was a
He was a great role player
Right.
that had just a different tenacity.
And wasn't he like the leading scorer in the McDonald's All-American game?
Yep.
Like all of those things. And we knew it from jump. This is an NBA
looked like
player.
grown-ass man in high
I
school.
went to Oak Hill, and I went and used to see Steven Jackson's jersey on the shit.
Raptors and shit.
And I
yeah.
used to be like, fuck everybody on that list. Like, Steven Jackson is the guy, because in high school that guy was phenomenal. He was unbelievable,
And
man.
he had to stamp that passport a
It's a
couple
fact.
times
That's
before
a
he could
fact.
get it going in the NBA
Yeah.
because it's that hard.
It's-
I remember there's another dude that played with him that was just about as good. He went and played at Tulane. He ain't get no whiff
It's hard,
of
man.
the NBA.
It's
It's,
hard.
really hard to make it to the NBA.
The league is hard.
That's why,
Listen,
but that's
to get
why
in.
that's why I feel or I worry about like your son or like Bron's son or whatever, because people don't understand, man. If them boys get 2 years in the NBA,
Yeah.
they've done something really, really impressive.
Absolutely.
D Wade's son went straight to the G League.
Yep.
Most people hearing this have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right,
They ain't
absolutely.
read nothing about it. They ain't seen it. I'm not saying that to insult him at all. It's really hard to make it to the
it's
NBA.
hard, man.
Once you get to a certain
There's different
level,
paths for everybody.
everybody's nice. Once you get to a certain level, everybody's nice. And that's when it comes into what you're talking about, learning your role, learning your spot.
Absolutely.
You know
So
what
I
I'm
told my to answer your question and bring it back. I teach my son, look, this is the totality of the game, because I'm fortunate enough to give you that information at an early age. I didn't get that information till maybe 5, 6, 7 years into NBA career. So now I can sit down with you. Hey, here's examples. I'm not just talking shit. Here's examples of these guys who you thought and think are the guys. You don't see them up here. Or you see them up here struggling. Or you see them up here can't adapt. Or you see them up here gotta wait and go through the rigmarole of 4 or 5 years. And then maybe you get a shot your 7th, 8th. If you fortunate enough to stick around that long, and you're only sticking around that long because in this league, there's a role that you have to play. You ain't coming here doing the same shit, because you coming here to a team that already got those guys on there.
Yeah. There's
how
already
do-
a dude that's
every-
gonna
how
have
do
you
you
score.
score 30?
How do I adapt to doing what this guy needs me to do? Like, what is my role? And I think that's what this generation has a hard time to try to figure out, stepping into it. They think they just coming in NBA like it's EYBL, like it's the circuit, and I'm gonna do me. And it's a rude awakening because your ass gonna be on the bench, your ass gonna be in the G League, and not the G League is cool, but your ass gonna be in the G League. And now you gotta play with that's the mental part that you gotta play with.
You gonna find out how much you love it.
You gonna find out how much you love it. You driving the bus from Indiana to New York, from New York to Cali, like,
Yeah, bro.
You gonna find out if this is really for you, because it would not be for me.
Traveling, bro. You sitting on the bench like it's 2K creative player, just doing like this, watching the game.
And you playing for you and the homies and the rest of the team. Ain't nobody in there. That ball is echoing every time it hits the ground. Do you really? Like every time I go to Summer League, I'm like, man, you cats must really love this, dog.
Do you really love this grind?
You need to.
Because most guys that come up that is top 5 in high school and all of the, the rankings and all of that shit cool if you in high school. Like, I get it. It's fun to see your name up there. Like, I get all of that shit. It's great. But once you get to that next level, all that ranking shit goes out the window. It's what could you do for me? What could you do for this university? Yep. And what could you bring to this organization in the NBA and what you do? Because the NBA is thinking development. So if you're not willing to take that steps and those steps to develop, some teams ain't fucking with you. OKC or Sam Presti, I think, is the best to do it when it comes to bringing those guys in and listen, transparency, sit down. Here's the plan. Here's your plan, Mero. Not Bo plan. Here's your plan. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. All I want to see is you hit the marks. If you hit the marks, by the time you get to year 3, you're going to have a very important role into this team. And if you look at OKC, that's why they're successful today. Right. Because all of those guys develop every year. None of those guys were stars. Sam developed those guys. Hey, Williams, here's your marks that I need you to hit every year. Right? Yeah. Chet, here's your marks I need you to hit every year.
Yo.
Even Shea, here's your marks I need you to hit every year.
Yeah, even though you're the guy.
Even you're the guy.
Yeah, does it? You know how we traded for you and we demanded you in this trade? Because we really depended on you to be
here's
that guy?
Marks.
Okay, cool. Here's how it's going to happen.
Right. I don't need you to be Michael Jordan yet. I don't need you to be, bro. I don't need you to be those guys yet. Do what you do, though.
Yeah.
But your mark is this. And if you supersede that, okay.
Great.
Great.
Well, let me ask this right fast. Was that the best run team that you played for?
Yes. That's the best, to me, it's the best ran organization when it comes to understanding the needs of players and understanding how to communicate with players and hold players accountable. But also, like, when I got there, OKC, they was just OKC, like, in a sense of, like, it wasn't no type of, like, culture or, like, Russ and those guys was doing their thing, but they was guys who grew up in OKC. So it wasn't really no coach. So when I got there, it was more like, all right, we're going to bring a little bit of flair. We're going to bring some swag to this OKC shit. We ain't trying to be what was here before. Like, we want to bring something different. And Sam understood that. And he worked with us, but he gave us our marks. Hey, Melo, here's your mark. Boom. Russ, we need you to do this in order for us to be successful. PG, here's your mark. Hey, Steven Adams, here's your mark. Jeremy Grant. Like, these are like Mark. Ray Felton had his, like, these are marks that we had to hit. And if we didn't hit those marks, we knew we wasn't doing our best. If we didn't hit the marks, Billy Donovan wasn't coming in there talking to us. It was Sam Presti coming in there talking.
Yo, Sam.
And not to cut you off, and I'm sorry, but when he did that, I had a newfound respect for Sam Presti on the business side. And to this day, I talked about this before. To this day, me and Sam is like this.
Sneaky cool.
Sneaky cool. Like, it's just sneaky cool. He has no ill intentions in any of this. He wants what's best for the player, and he really cares about what the fuck goes on. So I wish a lot of GMs and presidents had that type of you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just that type of energy when it comes to running organizations.
Yo, Sam, come holler at my kids, bro. Tell them to stop shooting. Yo, Melo, man, the beautiful thing about this show, man, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, is that we here to celebrate hoops and culture, but we have fun while we doing it, man, because if we not, what we doing here? You know what I mean? And 1800 knows that there's no better way to celebrate a good time, man, than with fire tequila, and this is it. You know what I mean? 1800.
You already know. That's right.
Yeah.
1800 Tequila, man, the world's most awarded tequila, is your go-to when it comes to celebrating the finer moments in life with a smooth tasting tequila. My favorite, I think they know my favorite by now.
They know, come on,
This
baby.
1800 Cristalino, man. This is an ultra premium, crystal clear Nejo tequila finish in port wine cask. It's so smooth, you can enjoy it. Neat. I got rocks. We got rocks. On the rocks, on your favorite cocktail.
On the left, you know what I'm saying?
To elevate its taste.
You know what I mean? 1800 knows what time it is, man. They know taste is everything, so it's only right that they locked in with us, man, the taste makers. You heard?
Salud.
Salud. You already know. The mark that we love to hit on this show is fucking with it or fuck out of here, Bo. Where we present you with some items in pop culture, you know what I mean? And you tell us if you fucking with it, oh man, nah, get that shit the fuck out of here.
All right.
First on the docket, we got Taylor Swift. Damn, I feel crazy saying this. Taylor Swift versus Beyonce.
See, Shannon Sharp with that shit, man.
You know what I mean? yo, Unc, you crazy for that one.
Unc is crazy.
You crazy for that one, Unc. The Kansas City Chiefs are on their way to the 4th Super Bowl in the past 5 years. Crazy achievement. Shout out to Pat Mahomes. This year's Super Bowl is going to be a little different, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously we got the Tay-Tay effect, you know what I mean, going on. Our beloved Unc recently was asked on Nightcap, like, yo, Taylor or Beyonce, impact-wise? And he said Taylor Swift. Let's roll the tape.
Beyonce. Beyonce ain't moving the needle like this chick, Ocho. No.
What? You
tripping, Ocho. This girl,
ask the
she's
chat.
the closest
Ask
thing.
the chat.
She's the closest thing to moving the needle like Michael Jackson that we've seen. This is it.
Whoa. Oh, whoa. Reel it back in a little bit, baby.
Yo, champ, you gotta chill.
Yo,
you
fucking, hey, listen.
Come on.
I know it's
chill.
two Americans,
Come on,
motherfucker, but still. Like,
doing
Beyonce
that.
has transcended both
Only
Americans.
in America, man.
Come on, dog. I don't know, man. If you fucking with it or you fuck out of here.
I'm fuck out of here for a very specific reason here, okay? Sometimes being right just isn't that important, right? And I'm not saying which side of this argument is the right side of the argument. I'm just saying feeling the need to prove yourself right is the way to wind up in a lot of wrong situations,
That's a
right?
fact.
I know a lot of white women. They've been very nice to me on a very casual level. I don't want to alienate them. On the other hand, with Beyonce, shit, man, I live in Harlem. I just want to walk down the block and not have no problems, you know? You can't win with this. Like, impact on what? That's what I would have said. I would have walked out the room.
White culture, black culture,
equivalent.
What's the impact?
Answer a question with a question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's a
you mean
fact.
cultural impact? You mean like sales impact? Like, you tell me. Like, you got to flip it on.
Because if you want to talk about impact of an individual moment, I was talking about this on my show today. You remember when Beyonce did the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Not the one with the Black Panther stuff, the one in New Orleans.
Oh,
and there was this
band?
moment where she stopped and she did 2 steps and she looked at the camera, and I don't want to emulate it, but she did this thing where she licked her finger and went halfway.
No, we ain't gonna do that.
All I'm saying is this. That had an impact on me personally that I don't think Taylor Swift can have with the best written song that's ever been made. I just don't think it's possible.
So you fuck out of here.
I'm fuck out of here because Shannon Sharp too old to not know a question that you don't have to answer.
Right, that's a fact.
You've been doing this
That's
way
ill,
too
that's
long.
ill.
Yeah, but you did way too many post games, my G. You don't know how to finesse
Come on,
out of
man. You
there.
gotta hit the circle button sometime, man. Hit with that L1 and juke your way out of that.
I'm fuck out of here, man. It's I just know like the impact. I'm not in Taylor Swift community,
World,
environment like every day, but I know what Beyonce does to my people.
Right.
I know what she does to
Yo.
these women. I know what she does to these kids, and I know the impact that Beyonce have where in the shit that really matters, right? To where it's like that she impacting schools, like she impacting, the community.
Yeah.
She impacting churches. She's impact like when I'm talking about these communities, these 4 block communities.
Yeah.
She's enhancing that right there.
Yeah,
like she is taking over that shit. Women, black women, the amount of power and confidence, like and exuberance that they have to, put out there when it comes to supporting Beyonce. Like she holds women to a higher standard. Like it's deeper than just musically. Like Taylor Swift is great. Like she's the shit. Like you get what I'm saying? But when you talk about what we do over here, and it's not one against the other, it's what we do over here.
Yeah.
Like her impact is multi-layered when it comes to things that we like. We want to get, when Beyonce concert come to a city, the hoods is shut down. They going to get dressed. They all go. The whole day is sponsored already by Beyonce.
I ain't never seen an act have a stranglehold on her audience.
Come on, man, it's different.
They fly to Europe because
this is
I just mean
different.
just the way people feel. Like when you see the crowd of people, what they wearing, and just their level of captive attention to what's going
crying,
on.
B. She got men crying. Men is crying over Beyonce.
Dude, she got men showing up for the damn show. Like, that's the one difference, man.
Themselves,
like Taylor Swift got a bunch of dads showing up, right? I ain't really heard too much about like, hey, baby, you want to go with me at the Taylor Swift concert? Come up. The Beyonce was just like, y'all give it a run.
She got dad-daughter. Like, that's daddy-daughter with Taylor. And it's a beauty.
Daddy ain't going to the Beyonce show because you might look at daddy a little different.
Daddy-daughter ain't going to Beyonce.
That's like going with your daughter to the Janet Jackson concert. She going to learn a lot about your pops.
Daddy-daughter is going to Taylor Swift. And it's an amazing environment. It's amazing environment.
Hell of a show.
Daddy-daughter ain't going to Beyonce.
Is it a hell of a show, Mero, or have you heard it's a hell of a show and you just felt like saying that?
I've heard it's a hell of a show.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
You just made that point right there.
And that's what
you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
So this is the thing too. It's like I've seen performances, you know what I mean? I've seen Taylor Swift performances and they're good, but the Beyonce shit is like an event. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
you know,
a family
but
affair.
it was for them too. Like the people that's really into Taylor Swift, where she started selling merchandise in the parking lot. The people that get in.
Let's give Taylor her props.
Yeah, not too much on Taylor. I'm just saying, like,
amazing. Like she's out of here. Like she's in another planet.
What I meant to say by event is like you were saying, like people get like, yo, we getting dressed up.
Yeah,
we doing this.
Ain't nobody
we doing
going
that.
to Taylor Swift shows.
You know what I'm
showing
saying?
up saying, I want to dress like Taylor Swift.
I'm going with my girl. You know, I'm gonna propose over there.
Kids are dressing up as Beyonce. Kids ain't dressing up as Taylor Swift. Maybe
but honestly, if they did, I wouldn't know it. I just wouldn't know.
No, I'm saying, listen. I've been around Taylor before. We've done commercials here with the Knicks. I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like shows. Bro, that shit is different. That's a different energy, different vibe. Yeah. That's a different commitment that her fan base have for her.
Yeah.
The Beyonce experience is something different. It's a Michael Jackson-esque experience.
That's what I was gonna say, bro.
I'm crying. Like, she could stand on the stage and don't say shit. I'm sitting there crying. Like they crying, from kids to teenagers, to moms, to grandmoms, aunties, to fathers, to brothers, to like it's a family affair. So I'm out of here with that, because I really know the impact of what's surrounding me when it comes to Beyonce, and I'm going to support that. Not saying I don't support Taylor Swift, but people that I'm around, they are Beyonce. They the bees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the beehive is different.
The internet is a monster.
The Swifts is crazy too.
That's what I'm saying, man.
The Swifts is crazy. Yeah, listen, they had the feds calling my crib, bro.
They are Swift.
They had the feds calling my crib, bro.
One time we did something on one show I had where they asked the staff pulled questions for the audience. They hit me like, "Who you taking, Beyonce or Rihanna?" I'm like, "Y'all don't love me at all, do you?" Because you try to make me. I was just like, "Look, I'm from Houston, so I'm picking mine, and that way I can be safe."
That's what Unc should have said. But I can't declare nothing. That's what Unc should have said.
Y'all trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah, I listen to both.
Yeah. That's it. When I'm running, I listen to Taylor. When I'm lifting weights, I listen to B. That's it. I'm cardio for Taylor, weights is B. That's it. That's how you answer that question.
So experience. We talk about Beyonce experience, right? Like y'all been seeing this Apple Vision kind of pro sets in public. Like what you think about those? I seen a nigga at the game the game standing up with
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nah.
Look, man.
See, that's Marty McFly shit right there, bro. That's crazy.
All right, Mero, you from New York.
Listen,
I ain't been living here that long.
Bro.
I feel like me and you saw that dude wearing that on the subway and had the same thought.
Bruh.
Oh, you fuck with the fuck out of here, baby.
First of all, it's fuck out of here, because to Bo's point, if you would have did that on the train in 2004,
you get your koofy slapped on.
No,
you get your koofy slapped on.
Bro, forget food. You a buffet, B. Like, you leaving off that train butt naked, B, with the Vision, the Apple Vision, the kid sneakers.
Yeah.
They're going to use dental records to identify you, bro, because they're cooking you in that train.
He sleep. Yeah, he sleep.
Bro, it's crazy. Because, like, I understand, like, because I got the little Oculus, whatever, VR joints or whatever. I'm using that shit at the crib, bro, playing Creed 3, and that's it. I'm not leaving the crib with that shit. That's crazy right there. Because the difference is that it don't just like put you in like virtual reality. It's like augmented reality.
It put you there.
Right. You there, but you can also fuck with your Twitter over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go on Pornhub over here. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you into. You know what I'm saying?
I seen fiends. Like, they're like a fiend to me. Like I saw fiends like
bro.
playing
like,
outside and high and like I think fiends created augmented reality.
yo, when you see that
they be outside, they be putting shit together. Like, oh
But
man.
this is the worst part. That thing costs like $3,500.
That's the shit.
So,
man.
as we talking about you getting robbed on the train, there's $3,500 sitting right here on your head.
And the ass whipping. maybe an ass whipping, or maybe it changes you for your life, for the rest of your life. Like, that's life changing.
Like,
Yeah, what's it like to have a virtual reality helmet on and motherfuckers just punch you in the real reality over and over again? It's right here. Like,
I'll get a 4K punch in my gut.
Come on. You see your health meter going down and shit. Like,
You thinking it's the game? It's fucking real life. I'm really bleeding. I'm really fucking bleeding out here, man. The fuck?
danger. Yeah, knock the fuck out shit.
I'm fuck out of here with
Perfect.
that. I'm
Like,
fuck out of here with that.
Yo,
Look,
fuck
imagine
yeah.
you get your ass whooped and then while it's happening, the battery runs out on that joint.
Come on, man.
And now
3,500.
now this isn't even a fun, like, immersive experience.
Yo.
I'm just getting my ass kicked and it's dark.
You get
blue
your
blockers
ass
on.
whipped. You get your ass whipped, but they don't even take the goggles. They can stomp
They
this
just
shit.
stop them shit. It's like, yeah, gotta play Pokemon now, stupid.
damn.
What, you said this shit don't work no
That's what
more?
I'm saying,
Fucking
man.
keep it.
Oh,
They
man.
take your shit, put it on, and be like, oh, man.
Bruh, I remember when the iPhones and like iPods and all that shit first started coming out, I would tell people like, yo, fam, get different headphones, B. Because it was like a sign. Like the headphones was always the white headphones. I was like, fam, get rid of them white headphones, get you some Sony joints, whatever. Because they see that and they're like, oh, this motherfucker got an iPhone.
Bose got some good ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, I don't even wear noise-canceling headphones in public for the same
know what I
reason.
mean?
Yeah, I need to hear what the fuck coming around me. That's what I said. I don't know
I
fucking
got
noise
one ear.
canceling.
I was like Secret Service nigga with one AirPod.
Like,
Like,
why would I want to do that?
Yeah,
What am
I'm
I
not-
listening to? That's so
I'm
goddamn
not noise
important.
canceling shit. I want to hear all the noise.
I want to hear the motherfucker be like, coming on the train, B. Fuck out of here. Yo, so the ill thing about fuck with it or fuck out of here is that we talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like cultural things that affect us on a daily basis. You know what I mean? The head nod type of situation, that type of stuff. Tipping culture, you know what I mean, is continuing to be very polarizing. You know what I mean? Some people fuck with it, some people don't. Some places you go to, you know what I mean, they include the gratuity on the bill. Depending on the party count, you know what I mean? Because we like to go 20 deep to Red Lobster. You know what I mean? I'm being asked to tip on a $3 coffee, man. So now Uber's asking you to tip. This is crazy. Uber Eats is asking you to tip before you even get the food. You know what I'm saying? So like, yo, fuck with it or fuck out of here. Delivery services asking for a tip before they even do what they supposed to do.
I'm gonna say fuck with it.
Ooh.
It's a hot take.
Break it down.
Couple things, right? I have to admit this. My attitude on tipping evolved as my income did.
Oh yeah.
I'm not nearly as you better sing for your supper as I was when I really had no money, right? Like this extra $5, like
Very
you gotta earn this
It's
shit,
relative.
right? Now I look at the tip before as insurance,
Yeah.
just to make sure my shit comes down. But you know, New York just passed a law because they found basically that all these cats was just hanging out outside the restaurants or whatever, and they were only picking it up if the tip was big enough. And so rather than create a circumstance that pays these people a living wage, a lot of the apps now will not allow you to tip
Like DoorDash.
when you order the food.
DoorDash fucked me up with that.
Yeah, you have to remember to go back.
Fucked me up with that.
Because I'm like, yo, man, think about yo, Carmelo Anthony tipped me,
I'm
right?
hungry as shit out
fact,
here.
right? Then they screen grab the shit. Yo, look at this. Yo, Melo ain't leave me no
Exactly.
tip.
So now you got to go back and put it in there. And I'm just like, I recognize, man, these cats out here living the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
nah,
Because
that's a
that
fact.
high school French be coming in handy for me when they deliver. Because these cats is not speaking no anglais, homie.
Nah.
That's who's delivering this food. I should not be tripping over these little $3 or whatever it is for them. But that's me. I recognize that. But
Right.
for other people, hey, man,
That $5 is
that's a thing. But we shouldn't be having to pay this stuff for these people. They should be paying this stuff
Facts.
for these people. That's what the problem is. So if I got to do my part, I'm going to go ahead and do my part.
I mean, for me personally, it was just like, it was a situation of like, yo, once motherfuckers see you on TV and they recognize you out in public, they automatically think you got $80 million in the bank. You know what I'm
there's
saying?
no service bad enough to where I can't tip anymore.
Right.
I
You
just
know what
got
I'm
to eat that shit.
I gotta eat it,
I
bro.
got some terrible service.
Fam, and straight up, bro, wrong food, cold food, all that shit. I'm like, yo, this is delicious. And I'm tipping you. The meal was $50. I'm tipping you $100, man, because I don't want to end up on Twitter with the shit circled up. Like, look at Mero bum ass. Like, oh,
it's easy.
Like, nigga, you got koi fish.
I was sick when I got the fucking notification from DoorDash. They pissed me off.
Like, yo, Melo B, yo, you ain't gonna hold me down, bro?
No, that what he talking about, like with like
You can't
get your food until you tip. I'm like, I tip. What the fuck? I tip big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I bring me my food, man. But then you start you start getting into like the nitty gritty of the conversations and the people that's really affected by it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, you know what? This delivery service was created for me. And us lazy motherfuckers who don't want to go get the food.
I want
and shit.
Popeyes, but I want to
So
drive
they
it.
made it easier and convenient for us, right? So now it's a necessity for us. Like we need the fucking delivery service. So if we gonna order the shit, then tip.
Yeah.
Like we ain't gotta go out the house. We ain't gotta come downstairs. We ain't gotta do shit. They drop the food off at the door. You can get the food when you want to get it.
They tell you, yo, your food's there.
Tip.
Right.
Send a tip before. Fuck it. It's not that difficult to fucking send
Look, man.
a tip. And it's relative. The tip is relative to what you can give. If you feel like, okay, I feel good about the DoorDash service. I order from this shit all the time. I'm going to tip. I don't have a problem with adjusting to or adapting to what the new rules are. But if I'm on a food delivery service app, and your shit been trash, and I only order fast food on your shit, like, you ain't asking me to tip you. I fucking tip you before. So I fuck with the fact that these delivery services are asking for the tip. Because I also know that the delivery guys and girls, they don't get shit.
Yo, that's my beef. My beef
They don't
is
get shit.
don't charge. The delivery fee is my beef, right? Because I had to stop doing this. I used to tell cats, this is before the apps came around. You know, some 45-year-old man delivering my pizza. And I was too young to appreciate that, yo, what your life got to be if you 45 years old delivering this pizza, right? And he looked at me, you got a tip for me? And I was like, they charge a delivery fee. I don't get that. I'm like, you need to take that up with your boss. Like, y'all need a union. Now I got a bit more of a sophistication about myself. I'm like, oh, okay, they wrong. But that's my beef is, I feel like the tip is the delivery charge.
Yes.
Why are you charging? Like, this is a goddamn delivery service.
absolutely.
How is there an extra fee for what it is that you do?
Right.
Crazy.
And on top of that, a lot of those places will jack up the price on the menu.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll hit you with the delivery charge on top of it.
But in the automatic gratuity charge. Like
Bro,
it's delivery, like so
delivery fee, service fee,
listen,
credit card fee.
Give the fucking you getting a credit card fee anyway. You getting a credit card fee. Give the delivery people the delivery fee because they are delivering the food and let them build off of the tips that they get.
I started tipping them in cash, bro, because somebody told me that they don't get the whole tip, whatever. And apparently they do now. Somebody put me on that they do, but I still was just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Hold this,
It's
like
the greatest,
old school.
it's
like,
one of the greatest inventions ever.
oh,
But it's still
you pay for it, though.
fucked up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, it's still fucked up. So
Oh, yeah, no.
I
Nobody.
fuck with it. I fuck with paying, the tip before food.
all right, listen, let me ask you a question, big baller, because we, you know what I'm saying? We little R rich, you big R rich. What's the craziest tip that you done left at an establishment, a restaurant? You know what I mean?
I still like, as I'm writing the tip and I see the bill, I'm like,
That's how you still capital R rich.
It sounds like you like me. That 20%. That 20%.
listen,
I'm with the calculator.
listen.
What is Siri? What is 20% of 1803?
I'm usually a double the tax
Right.
plus 45.50.
Okay.
Right? Like that's usually
That's quick maths.
quick maths, So double the tax plus 45. That's me. Right? And
Right.
if the service was amazing, I'll just leave a whole separate
little something else.
tip. Like, you know what I mean? If I like the service, it might be a great server and the restaurant treat them like shit. Like, you know what? Here.
I see the black. I see
my
the
meal was
barking on you.
$50. Here's $200. Here's $150. I like what you're doing, and you made it comfortable for me to come to this establishment.
Yeah, like you do something like that. Like I'm too logical. Like I'd be looking at it like, yo, this doesn't really make any sense.
Yo, listen.
Like I look at them numbers and proportions.
I say the same shit.
That's on small stuff where I'm like, come on. So if it's $10, I could easily tip you $5. I could, but that don't make no sense. I gotta get off this.
You start breaking shit down. How many 2-ounce pours I had?
Yo, I swear to God. Yo, the only time I ever spent like $80 at Taco Bell was fucking using Uber Eats, B, with all the fees and all that other crazy shit.
Taco Bell became elevated as far as when you look at the bill, like, damn. Taco Bell $60?
Yo, man.
3 tacos.
$25 for a Chick-fil-A meal, dog.
I'm a franchise owner now for 60.
I'm cool with that shit.
The way I rationalized my laziness, like on the Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A like 4 blocks away from my house, and I rationalized it with
it's cold out.
But buddy got the joint to keep your shit warm.
Yeah. They got the heaters.
It'll get cold.
Yeah.
If I gotta put
Time I get back to the crib in
They
the
got the portable microwave, the soft microwave.
Could I just eat my Chick-fil-A at Chick-fil-A?
Hello?
Totally different discussion for another day.
No, we're not doing that. Yo, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, man, the #1 show on the planet B. I said it myself. Melo regarded the building. Big Bubba, Bomani Jones in the motherfucking house.
Left.
Part of the left.
There we go. The #2 show, by the way. The Right Time with Bomani Jones.
That's right. We out here.
Shout out to the right time. Shout out to the right time.
Yes,
sure,
sir.
Man.